Like I said, like people logging into Facebook. So, and Facebook and YouTube being as accessible as it is now, like you just carry it on your phone. So you really don't have to have like an app on like Channel 11 or anything. You just have to log into Facebook and know what's going on in the world.
I think that the news does do a good job of covering things, but as being younger, we don't always watch the news, and we do hear a lot of things through our teachers and classes and through like Facebook and YouTube. Like there's a lot of stuff out there that helps us.
They've changed the immediacy that we've been able to receive the news. Like as children, we had to wait till the 6 o'clock news or the 11 o'clock news to be able to hear what's going on, like what had gone on the entire day, or wait till the evening edition of the newspaper came out. Whereas now everything's so instantaneous.
It's not a boring way of receiving it. You know, you're always alerted, you're always informed, and you're always aware of what's going on. But the disadvantage is that once this news is put out, it's up to the reader's interpretation of how it can be, digested, because different forms of media can construe news in different ways, and some people might take it the wrong way as another group. And social networks tend to have that how should I say it, that ability to misconstrue things.
I think social networking websites have completely changed how we receive news, because not really everybody uses newspapers, watches television, most everything, Facebook and MySpace and tweeting is all on your phone now. So you have better access to it, and it's the hip thing to do. So more kids are more available to use it, and they more willing to use it, considering they'll look cooler getting their news from there. So I think it's definitely changed.
Social networking sites have changed the news in the sense that I guess like your information that you receive is kind of filtered through the friends that you have. So it's kind of biased a little bit towards who you hang out with. So if like who you hang out with doesn't have like a different opinion than you, like you're pretty much not getting any new information.
I feel like they are, because I feel like the news would probably like to, in the news you could edit like what's going on, if it's like I don't know if it's just a superstition, but like say like the news broadcast is the majority of the people there are like, for instance, Democrats. They're gonna show the bad stuff about Republicans, or for Republicans showing the bad stuff on Democrats. So I feel like with the news, like you could edit out what you don't want to show and edit like what's gonna benefit you. But in the case of like somebody recording something just like on a cell phone, and the person not being able to know how to like handle like what's being uploaded, you get to see like everything in a different perspective and kind of seeing more without all the edits and seeing everything.
I think even if you are questioning if it's reliable or not, at least you see it and it makes you think about it, and it'll make you dig and find out what is true. So even if it's something phony, at least you have a way of researching it and it comes to your mind.
They're good for quick bits of information, but they're usually so full of bias that you can't really rely on them too much.
People learn of what's going on, and they feel like they have to do something, or that they want to do something, which brings awareness to the whole community as a whole. And as the younger generation is growing up, we're going to need that, definitely. Some disadvantages are that sometimes our generation won't understand what is completely going on, because they don't get all the information. They just get what they see on YouTube or see what anybody else shows them. And so I think that could be also a huge disadvantage.
More than anything, it's helped, because it's caused the younger group, who have been considered apathetic and maybe not even interested in things such as political issues, it's helped us become more active in those realms of society.
I agree that it's more of a positive because now even more people are using it to show what's wrong in the world and to try to help out in our country and in other countries. Like, I know that especially Facebook, it's more people think of it as a social site, but there are a lot of people out there who, you know, invite you to events, come to here and support this, or do the for Colbert Report, the March for Fear, that I got an invite for that on Facebook and I didn't even know what it was, and then it made me go and research, okay, well, why is he doing this? And so the more and more people use it for good cause, the better it will be.
Because of the social networks, they might get exposed to more things, but unless they're actually discussing them with their friends or in a with someone else that's knowledgeable, they won't really do social justice or social action. They'll just kind of take it for themselves, self-awareness, but up to what extent are they actually doing something about it? Are they actually signing a petition? Are they signing one online? That would make a difference, but maybe they're just kind of reading about it and liking it.
For the case of NADA, like how the U.S. was able to find out what happened, I feel like they had to be more worried now about their image. So being more careful if they want to make connections with other countries, they have to they have an image. So if we say the U.S. is trying to do a positive tie or something, they're gonna keep a perspective, things we see from over there. So in a way, it's good because now the government has to be a little bit more careful about what their actions, but in a sense it's negative as well because say for instance, if they do have to control what we see over here, you're never they have the power to cut things off, like I've said. So we probably wouldn't have the whole perspective. We might get into a bad thing, but overall I think it's positive.
It could impact it in a positive way, that there'll be more self-awareness, but it depends from where it's coming from.
I think the impacts social networks will have on human rights, it's a positive and a negative. One, because our social networking is causing us to be more shallow, but it's also causing those who do see the problem in the shallowness to fight more for it and spread the word. But it's not. It's a give and a take for both of it.
I definitely feel like it's helped. It's brought a greater awareness to everyone, not just the wealthy elite who have access to all sorts of media, but it's to anybody with internet access, even if it's at home, school, the library. They're able to get this information.
Honestly, we're moving into, the more media publicized and everything, YouTube. And if we can capture things that happen to NEDA like that and get them on YouTube and get other people aware of it, even out here in the United States, even though it doesn't happen in our own country, if we can be aware about it, it would make the world a lot better.
Younger generations now, our age, college age, citizens, since we have more access and more knowledge of social media networks and stuff like that, we have more of an ability to push certain ideals and certain opinions across more further. Once you get that across a social network, it causes this thunderclap.